Hello, and welcome back to Abby's podcast. It's not just you, now her anatomy. I have a special guest with us, Chanelle. Tell us
Hi.
your last name, your new last name.
Um, I'm Chanelle Kirby.
So when Chanelle and I met, her last name was Leonhardt,
Hmm.
and now her maiden name is Leonhardt, and her official last name is Kirby. So we met in New York City back when we both lived there. It was many, many moons ago, and we were doing
Doesn't
pro
feel
life.
like that long ago.
You what?
It doesn't feel like that long ago, but yeah,
It
sorry.
doesn't feel that long ago, and I still feel like we're the same people, just different circumstances in our lives. But we met through
Yeah,
doing pro-life work together. And so we were living in the Bronx. We were also roommates for a couple of
we
for
were.
for a
Yeah,
little bit of
a little
time
while.
there.
Yeah.
And we got the same mutual friends. Some of y'all saw Marnie's her interview. She is also good friends with us. So we're just kind of like this little hodgepodge group. So um, we're going to be discussing Chanel's pregnancy journey today. But first, I want to give you guys a little background for what Chanel does. So I'm going to ask you, Chanel, tell us what you do and why you love doing it.
Well, I'm a stay-at-home mom.
Hmm.
So this has been something that I have wanted to do my whole, like I was a little kid who dreamt about being a stay-at-home mom. So I have three little ones and they definitely, I was a nanny before becoming a mom, and this definitely is just brings out the best and the worst in me. And I think, like, especially my kids are so young right now, so like just readjusting who I am, like learning who I am through this and stuff. I love it, but it's definitely the hardest job I've done, but it's the most rewarding job. So
When you say
yeah.
it brings out the best in yourself and the worst in yourself, what's one worst thing it brings out in you?
I never knew I had so much anger in me sometimes.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it's funny how like one little thing can just get me so stressed out. Also, like when you realize you are in charge of other lives. Like I think I used to be very like when we lived in New York, I was very carefree and just like free spirited and just I don't know, like just very fearless in a lot of ways. And since becoming a mom, and this might play into what my how my pregnancies were and stuff, but I think I just realized like the fragility of my life. Like I don't want to leave like I don't know. I have a lot more anxiety as a mom now than I ever did before. Yeah, just anxiety for my own life, anxiety for my kids' lives, anxiety for my husband, like everything, It's just crazy like how much that has brought out in me.
So you feel like you didn't have anxiety prior to having kids, but now you're struggling with anxiety. Would you say it's something that happens every day? Is it just a couple times a week? Or and then also what does the anxiety feel like in your body?
Hmm. Um, I would say it's like a couple times a week, but it's not like I don't have like panic attacks or anything like it's just more like anxious thoughts. Like um I have struggled with postpartum depression and stuff, especially this third round. And um this time it came out a lot in like through anger and then also just like fear and just irrational thoughts. I think like every mom, and I think every mom that I've spoken to, we just have these like invasive thoughts is what we call them. It's
Mm.
like your mind just goes to the worst case scenario, like 0 to 60 worst case scenario for so many different situations on a daily basis. I think like you just think of all the ways, all the things that could go wrong with the kids that day or whatever, and just trying to learn how to like surrender that and just like
What's one
realize you can't
tangible
control everything.
what's one tangible strategy that you feel like you found that you have found to work? Something practical in
Hmm.
in dealing with that anxiety.
honestly, I know it's just kind of cheap, but just breathing, just remembering to like just take a deep
Hmm.
breath and just sometimes I've been realizing lately like I will tense up and clench my mouth if I like get anxious or like I'll just, I get tense and I'm just learning to like just like breathe it out and like it's actually really helpful. It's been really helpful for me. So
So is it the part of it that you're listening to your breathing, or is it just the action? What about it do you think calms you down?
even just the action of just like and not like actually like just breathing out like in a funny kind of like almost like
Can you do it
it's just like you know
like that? Like,
just
okay.
yeah like even like a horse almost
Yes, like
and it's been yeah like it's like because it kind of brings like some humor to the moment and also
mm,
just let it out so
yeah, and
just trying
laughter
to
is
kind of
medicine.
yeah
So that makes sense. Okay.
that's been helping me yeah.
How long do you do that for? Would you say it's just like a couple times, or do you do it
Just
like,
yeah, just like once or twice. If I'm like yeah, if I'm really upset, then maybe like twice, but it
and then
does seem to help. It's been helping.
you do it throughout the day? You try to do it throughout the day?
Yeah. Like anytime I feel myself starting to tense up, then I'll kind of
Mm.
just
Reset.
okay, yeah, reset. Reset. Okay, let's take a deep breath and like, that's what I'm trying to implement to my kids too. Is like, okay, we let's just sit down. Let's just calm and like, so I need to practice what I'm trying to preach.
Well, we all are. I mean,
Yeah.
it's always a work in progress, right? So I'm
hmm
going to switch gears a little bit. Tell us, speaking of being a mom, tell us about how you and David met
I was a bartender at a brewery,
in
and
Brooklyn,
he
right?
was no, this was in New Mexico.
Okay, never
Yeah, in
mind. This is
Albuquerque. Yeah.
a different place I was thinking of when we came to visit you. Continue.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I was in New Mexico, and he was just a customer who had been coming in, and he had been coming in for a while at that point, and all my coworkers would be like, "Oh, Chanel, that guy's here. He won't order a beer from anyone but you. Go, go
Oh my
take his
God.
order." So finally, he came in on Valentine's Day, and he didn't have a girl with him. So I was like, "Okay, well, clearly he's single." So I went and I put my phone number, or no, I what did I do? Oh, I drew a heart. I took a receipt paper,
Mm,
taped it to the bottom of his glass, drew a heart so that like when he was done drinking his beer, he would see the heart on the bottom of his glass. And so then I would like mortified and I didn't want to like go to his table again. And so one of my friends cashed him out and stuff. And when he was leaving, he brought the, the bill to me and
hmm.
on the receipt was his phone number and was like, let's get a drink sometime. And so, yeah, here we
So
are, eight
romantic.
years later,
3 kids
three
later.
kids, 8 years later. It's crazy. Yeah.
Ah, so tell us about the timeline. By the way, I love David. He's just so precious. And your wedding was so
Yeah.
much fun. She had a taco bar and she had the best music. You had a good DJ.
We had a good, yeah, our DJ was pretty cool.
This
Yeah.
girl got married in the middle of nowhere, Colorado, in this epic, beautiful, perfectly cute, quaint Catholic church where Pope John Paul II actually spoke
Yeah,
at.
he
Like,
blessed it.
like
Yeah.
not at her wedding, but years
Yeah.
later. Yeah.
Wouldn't that
So
have been nice?
that would have been that would have been epic.
Yeah.
So anyways, it was so much fun. So Chanel's just like so much fun, life of the party. Let's move into the timeline of your 3 children. Tell us when your
Okay.
first pregnancy was, and tell
So
us
my
a little bit about that experience.
so my first pregnancy, we were in New York. We had just moved to New York, back
Mhm.
to New York. So it wasn't yeah, so we had just moved back to New York. It was 2020, the middle of COVID.
Yes,
And
I was there at that time.
yeah, yeah, you were there. I remember you'd come over when I was having morning sickness. You'd come over and you brought me ginger ale. Do you remember that?
I'm so sweet. Guys, just know
You
that.
are.
Didn't I? I thought I gave you like I tried to do like a massage or something.
You did. Yeah, you
Okay.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my little love language. I'm a physical therapist.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
So yeah, you we were living in New York. I was a nanny. Um and I ended up having to go on bed rest because I got it's called placenta previa.
Hmm.
So, and I had like a complete previa is what they said, and I couldn't lift anything more than 15 pounds. And the little boy that I was nannying was 30 pounds and he was 10 months old. So
That's a big baby.
he was a big baby. And he was not walking anywhere near walking. So I couldn't work. So then my husband's job, he was working remotely in New York, but his actual job was based in New Mexico. So we ended up moving back here. So,
I remember that
and
transition.
yeah, we were sad to be coming back, but it was all for the best because yeah, that's where everything was for us. And um, so yeah, that was the end of 2020. 2021 we moved back here um
And
and
where's
then
here?
New Mexico. And then so my oldest was born in June, and I was induced because of that. Because not, so the previa had healed, which was awesome. So I didn't have to get a C-section because that, if you have a complete previa, then you are at risk for a lot of different complications. And so so mine had healed, it had moved out of the way. And because I had been like on bed rest and like, it wasn't bed rest, I could still walk and stuff. I don't want to like, I wasn't like stuck to the like rest completely, but I just couldn't lift. I couldn't do a lot of exercises and stuff.
Limited functional mobility.
Limited, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. Um, so and then after, but then I did develop the last week of my pregnancy, I developed preeclampsia, and
Mm.
that's what. So then they induced me, and then it was it was a let's see. I was in labor for, I think it was 53 hours. And then I pushed for 3.5 hours.
What was running through your mind? Were you just,
I don't know. You have to just take it moment by moment, contraction by
Mhm.
contraction, and just like, and I was looking, so when they induce you, they like use a synthetic version of oxytocin, which is Pitocin. And so they give you like certain levels of Pitocin, and like the highest legal the legal limit they're allowed to give you is like 28. But I was looking back on my notes and they gave me 32 doses of, because I just wasn't progressing. So like they
mm,
had to like get special approval to give me like that much. Like there are, with all my other pregnancies, I had like level 4 of Pitocin, or level, I think with my second, I was like level 7 of Pitocin. But with my first one, it reached like it was level 32 of Pitocin and 53 hours of labor. My body just wasn't ready to give birth at all. And she wasn't ready to come out. And I sometimes wonder if like, if being induced, like they induce you because being pregnant with high blood pressure was very dangerous. And I don't know, but then I don't know how it would have gone if I had just done things a little more natural and just kind of waited for her to come, if
did you have hypertension or did you have high blood pressure before being
I've never
pregnant?
dealt with high blood pressure before being pregnant.
But you
Never.
got it afterwards, yeah.
Yeah. And
And so
then um sorry, go ahead.
did the doctor suggest that method of in being induced? Is that where that came from?
Yeah, so I had quite a few high blood pressure readings in that last week, and they like kind of like scared me into being induced. So,
Mm,
and in all fairness, they've seen a lot of crap, so they always want to err on the side of caution. So
they got to
that's
cover themselves. But looking back,
hmm
basically what I'm getting from you is you kind of feel like maybe you could have taken matters into your own hands, not really knowing that you could. And
I don't know. I don't want to say that totally
okay.
because I don't, there's just so much that is unknown with preeclampsia. So
Mm.
it's like, yeah, there's just a lot of unknowns. And yeah, so I, at the end of the day, I'm glad I my baby was born safely. I didn't have to do anything. I did have to get an episiotomy that first time, um, just because she had been stuck in the birth canal for 3.5 hours. So, and
Mm.
she was starting to lose oxygen. So they had to give me an episiotomy so that she could easily come out. And um, yeah, so that was a very, very tough,
So
tough
that
one.
was Emma. What
And
would you
then
describe that pregnancy, the delivery in one word?
long,
Long.
yeah, exhausting, but powerful too. Like I felt pretty, it was also like it was the first time I became a mom. Like it was seeing my baby in my hands afterwards was just, I mean, like forever changes you. So yeah, so yeah. I haven't thought back on it in a while, so it's nice to reminisce on that. But yeah, it was very long, but it was also very rewarding.
So how
So
much time passed from when you gave birth to Emma to when you got pregnant with your second child?
we had 10 months. I mean, was 10 months old when I got pregnant with my second. And I will say, so after that, a week after I gave birth the first time, I had to get readmitted for postpartum preeclampsia, which is an even
Mm.
more dangerous situation, which like, because they call it like the silent killer in postpartum moms, because you can't really tell the symptoms because you're already so sleep deprived and dizzy and things like that. And so, I mean, like my blood pressure was, actually, I think it was 210 over 190 or something like that.
Wow.
And
You
so I had
10
to get
over
readmitted.
90?
190. Yeah.
Okay.
And so I had to get readmitted for that and then do this magnesium drip for 24 hours straight, which is like that's when they like you were like tied to a bed. You cannot move because your body is just so weak. Like it was awful. So then I was stuck in the hospital for another like 4 days because they have to do 24 hours of complete like just magnesium drip and then like a couple days of them adjusting your medications, seeing how you can handle how you react to certain blood pressure medicines and then you have to be stabilized before you can go home. So it's just like that's not how any new mom wants to start their time with their baby, like being
Mm.
separated. And this was during COVID, so everything was just, it was just a mess.
How did you
So
handle that? What was the hardest part about that?
I think just this constant fear of I could die any minute.
Mm.
Like I could like women who have postpartum preeclampsia, there's no real sign, like you could just get a stroke at any time and then just go, you know?
Yeah.
And I think like that just that has carried on into every single postpartum experience with me because I've had postpartum preeclampsia every single time. And
Have
so
you?
I haven't been able to just rest and enjoy my new baby, It's always been this like. And I've never been the kind of person who's like, "Oh, I'm so terrified of death." But when you become a mom, something shifts, like you are responsible for this. You're irreplaceable to your family at this point. And like it's not like a pride to want to protect your life for the sake of your own kids. And I feel like before I was always like I've always been like, very Catholic and um seeing this life as like just preparation for getting us to the next life. I know we're called to heaven, and so I've never really been afraid of death because of that. But then, yeah, like when you're a mom, it's different. You want to be here for your kids. You want to watch them grow up. You are responsible for them. So yeah, that's what's been like the most challenging thing with all this is I think it's just yeah that and I'm still on. So I gave birth 10 months ago with my third, and I'm still on blood pressure medicine because it's just haven't been able to level out normally. So
Are there any side effects of the blood pressure medicine that you're having to deal with?
yeah, sometimes like chest tightness, sometimes dizziness and things like that. Just but I mean it's a lower I mean I have to be on a certain type of blood pressure medicine because I'm nursing. So
Mm.
that's why there's just certain it's not the greatest blood pressure medicine out there, I guess, but it's the one that's safest for nursing. So
Got you.
sorry, I don't know if you can hear my
I heard
kids.
the little cry. Yeah.
Okay,
That's
sorry.
perfect. That's what we're doing and talking about. You have to go? Okay.
No, I think I'm okay.
Okay. So tell me, so how long did the postpartum eclampsia last?
It always started up about a week after giving birth, and then I had to get readmitted right away, and then be hospitalized for a few days to do the treatment, and then on average for the first and second pregnancies, or yeah, for the first and second postpartum experiences, it was about 6 weeks that I was on watch, and then my blood pressure would level out. This time around, it's been 10 months, and I'm still like dealing with high blood pressure issues. But that could just now just be part of my life because of having gone through it so many times. But it's possible to develop it throughout the whole first year, is what
Mm.
they've told me, I guess.
Have they
Just kind of
told
have to,
you?
oh, I
Have,
just have to be on the lookout.
gotcha. So
Hmm.
they've given you medication. Is there any dietary restrictions or changes that they've suggested or fluid intake or anything like in that nature?
No, they never really did anything like, they never really, you know, I feel like, no, it was always just about their prescriptions and stuff. But
Okay.
for me, like I like, I don't know, I look up things a lot online and like, what can I do to naturally do this? Or, trying to like, so we have like tried to, just like limit salt and things like that. But like, it's not like I don't, I don't eat a lot of salty foods and I mean, I don't know. We tried doing some natural approaches to it too. Like even when I was pregnant to try to avoid getting preeclampsia, I tried implementing like a lot of salmon and a lot of broccoli and things like that that were supposed to
Like omega
say
3?
they can naturally, yeah, say that it would naturally help, and uh, just it just didn't for me. So
Not really. Okay.
yeah.
So then you got pregnant again 10 months after your first pregnancy.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
then tell us about that experience. Tell us the name of your second born.